16 teams, 16 coaches, one ultimate test. The Big 12 is bigger and bolder than ever. And as On3 recently highlighted, the top 6 coaches of the Big 12 are setting a high bar. But who else is rising to the challenge and who's falling short? Our power rankings for 2025, the top Big 12 coaches, reveal the conference's best and worst. Let's dive in. I'm your professor, the Wild Ute, and today's source material is an article from Ari Wasserman, Top 25 College Head Coaches in 2025. And folks, there are 6 Big 12 coaches on this list that Ari put out. And so on our list that we'll be discussing today, the top 6 coaches in the Big 12 will be coming from Ari's list, with the coach number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 coming from a list compiled by your professor. Let's see who ended up number 1 overall top Big 12 coach 2025. Deion Sanders, Coach Prime. Coach Prime, the ratings juggernaut monster, ended up number 1 on Ari Wasserman's list, the number 1 Big 12 coach, for the justification that you can read on the screen. Look, Coach Prime is a recruiter, transfer portal recruiter. Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders were fantastic players. He's got some really good kids coming in this next year. Can he replicate it? That's the question. Can he do it again with losing the top-end talent that he had going into 2024? And this 2025 season will be very telling. Is Coach Prime for real? Can he maintain, or is he going to fall off and be more of an average coach in the Big 12? Ari certainly thinks that he's not going to be falling anywhere, and he's the number 1 position in the Big 12 right now. Let's move on. Kyle Whittingham, the stalwart of the Utah Utes, the greatest coach in Utah Utes football history. 2-time Pac-12 champion, Kyle Whittingham. Look, last year, the Utah Utes went 5-7, disappointed tremendously after being picked number 1 to win the Big 12 conference. There is optimism this year there will be a rebound, plus a lot of folks in the community, Utah communities, think this is going to be Kyle Whittingham's final season. Can he rebound? Can he go off in glory? We shall find out. Fantastic coach, no nonsense, physical football coach, disciplined football coach, and a great football coach, Kyle Whittingham. Moving on. Kenny Dillingham, Dilly, from Arizona State. What a star. He's boy wonder, taking the Arizona State Sun Devils from literally worst a few years ago to first last year in the Big 12. They won the Big 12, the Arizona State Sun Devils, with Sam Leavitt and Cam Skattebo running all over folks. And man, it doesn't seem like this thing is going to be slowing down anytime soon. If Cam Skattebo stays, if he goes, look, this program is running on all cylinders, and there's recruits coming in. It is looking very optimistic in Tempe right now, and this is the reason for it. Kenny Dillingham, well-deserved number 3 Big 12 coach, and possibly a riser in the coming years too from that number 3 spot. Going to number 4, Lance Leipold from KU. Leipold is a no-nonsense coach. He gets it done, and he's a proven historical winner. Last year, kind of like the Utah Utes, KU went 5-7 and lost a ton of close games at the beginning of the year. And they had Jalen Daniels, star quarterback, who is returning in 2025. Look, folks, there's no way this KU team in 2025 that's largely returning is going to put out the stinkers and lose these close games like they did last year. They ain't going 5-7 again. They will be a contender in the Big 12. And Coach Lance is a star. He really is, folks. He's going to try to get plucked away every winning year that he wins. Seriously, people want this guy. He's a proven winner. And if you can win at KU in football, then you can win essentially anywhere you go. Lance Leipold, number 4. Number 5 on the list, Kalani Sitake from BYU. Kalani has been with the BYU program as head coach for several years, and he's had a couple great seasons. Last year may be his masterpiece of the season. He hires great assistant coaches, plays physical football, disciplined football. Players love Kalani Sitake. prior coaches, prior players love Kalani Sitake. He is just a great person, amazing person, great coach, great ambassador for the Cougar program too. He's not going anywhere for a long time. BYU's in good hands with Sitake at the helm. He's well deserving to be a top 5 coach in the Big 12 Conference. Number 5, Kalani Sitake. Now, number 6, and the last coach that was on Ari Wasserman's list is Matt Campbell from Iowa State. This shouldn't surprise anyone. Matt Campbell is an absolute star of a coach. Iowa State was absolutely fortunate to retain him. There were suitors coming after him this offseason when Iowa State almost won the Big 12. They got to the Big 12 championship game versus Arizona State. And Matt Campbell's just a proven winner. He's been doing it for years at a program historically that hasn't won at the highest level. Now, can Matt Campbell, can he get over that cap? Can he get to a Big 12 championship? Can he get to a playoff berth? That's going to be the next level up. And that's the big question mark for the Iowa State program. And so many other Big 12 programs too. But Iowa State's right there at the precipice. Can they get over the hump and get into the college football playoff? And can Matt Campbell rise this program even further? Fantastic coach, Matt Campbell. So there's the 6 from the article from Ari Wasserman. Now let's get into the ranking that I put into place here. The final Big 12 coaches ranked from 7 to 16 as dictated by the Wild Ute. Number 1, Chris Kleiman, Kansas State. And if you see a word next to the school, every single one of these coaches has one word. That is the word to think about when we're talking about what they need to focus on as a coach. Chris needs to focus on physicality with the K-State program. Some of you are probably like, whoa, no way. K-State plays physical football. Hey, K-State has played disciplined football, but based on the eye test, see K-State playing a lot softer level football than they have in the past. And some of the great K-State teams in the past were some of the most physical teams in the Big 12 Conference. And Kleiman needs to lift the physicality and nastiness of this Cat team to take it to the next level, to win a Big 12 championship, to get to the college football playoff. That is the heel right now for the K-State program. They're close. They can get that physical edge, and they can take it up a notch. Number 7 coach right there. Number 8, this might surprise some folks, Mike Gundy. Mike Gundy is the legendary Oklahoma State coach of the Cowboys. And look, he put out a stinker last year. Oklahoma State was the worst team in the Big 12 Conference. Come on, do you really think that Oklahoma State's going to suck again? No way. The word to think about for Mike Gundy is shock. I think he's going to shock you and I and put out a very good season in 2025, which indeed might be his last. Just like Kyle Whittingham. Shock us all because he's a dang good coach. He's going to turn that program around quick. Before he leaves, Oklahoma State will be turning around. So look out, Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy's been doing it for a long time and a fantastic coach for many years. One of the greatest ever at Oklahoma State. And number 9 on the list, Dave Aranda, Baylor. I think of Dave Aranda as Mr. Inconsistent. Some great wins, some great years, some really poor losses, some bad years. I mean, he's just not very consistent, guys. Has some great wins, right? Like getting to big-time games. But then, throws complete stinkers out there. He has a hard time stringing a lot of wins together oftentimes. So can Dave Aranda, can he play consistent football for 12 games to get Baylor to the next level? That's the question for Aranda. We'll find out in 2025. Number 10 on the list, Sonny Dykes, TCU. Okay, so Sonny Dykes got to a national championship versus Michigan. TCU lost that game, but they won a college football playoff game to get into that national championship game. And that was just a few years ago. Sonny Dykes was the head coach. Here's the problem with it. That was Gary Patterson's players and team, essentially, right? So Sonny Dykes, the key thing for him to focus on is to find the identity of the TCU Horned Frogs program. What is the identity? Under Gary Patterson, it was physicality, defense, nastiness. Under Sonny Dykes, I feel like there's been a loss of identity. And so define the identity, get back to TCU football, and stick to it. If you do that, maybe rise up the coaching list too. Number 11, Willie Fritz. Willie Fritz. I love this guy, actually. This Willie Fritz guy. I love it's his history. He's a winner. He's at Houston right now. I like what they're doing in the portal in Houston. I think that they're going to string together a pretty dang good season in 2025. And his job, his focus is to ignite the Houston program, ignite it, bring some juice, bring some energy, get the momentum behind Houston. Once you do that, the recruits are in that area, Texas and Houston. We know how good that is. This could be a very strong football power in the future, but it needs to be ignited still. Willie Fritz is probably the man for the job, 11th on the coaching list. Could be a fast riser in the future. Number 12, Mr. Joey McGuire from Texas Tech. Look, let's be honest about it. Joey McGuire seems to have underperformed every year he's been coach at Texas Tech. Can he amplify a Texas Tech program that has a ton of talent? The transfer portal was fantastic for the Red Raiders. Can he bring it to the next level? Can he get these guys, develop them, and push them up a different level and amplify everything so Texas Tech can compete for a Big 12 championship? They ought to. A good coach could do it. But can Joey McGuire get them there? That's the question. It's a question mark right now for me. That's why he's 12 on this list. He needs to amplify that program, and he can do it. The talent's there. Number 13, Scott Satterfield from Cincinnati. And this is kind of like that Houston program, but I feel like Cincinnati's been a little bit sleepy over the last few years. Last year, there needs to be a little bit more juice, energy into the program, swagger. Scott Satterfield, can he bring that to the table? Get Cincinnati on the map again. Get people talking about Cincinnati like they did under Luke Fickell when they made the playoff. There needs to be more juice and energy in that program and excitement. And can Scott Satterfield be the man for it? Or is it somebody else? I do not know. That's the question mark. Number 13 on this list. Now, here we're going to the bottom 3 Big 12 coaches. Number 14, West Virginia fans aren't going to like this. I get it. Rich Rod, putting Rich Rod at number 14. Now, Rich Rod had a great, successful stint at West Virginia a long time ago. That wasn't recent history. That was a long time ago. He's had some unsuccessful stints since then, i.e. Michigan and Arizona, and he's recently revived his coaching career at Jack State. Look, can he come back as an older coach? Can you teach an old dog new tricks? Can you win in the NIL era, transfer portal era? I do not know. That's a huge question mark. Can he reinvent himself to find success at West Virginia again? He loves West Virginia. He loves Morgantown. It's a fit there, but can he reinvent himself to be a great coach there again? We'll find out. Number 14 on the list right now, Rich Rodriguez. This is kind of a similar story with number 15, Scott Frost. Scott Frost had an undefeated season at UCF in recent history. UCF claimed a national championship. Yeah. Can he reestablish that program? UCF fell off last year under Gus Malzahn. Can Scott Frost come back into the program, bring back the talent, and also win football games at UCF? Last year, UCF played very undisciplined football. They were that way in the Malzahn era while they had talent there. Can Frost bring them to be a competitive football team in the Big 12 era? Maybe, maybe not. Didn't work so well for Scott Frost at Nebraska since he left UCF. But hey, he had success here before. Can he find it again? Perhaps. Question mark there, number 15 on the list. And the last on the list, Brent Brennan from Arizona. Brent Brennan ran into a difficult situation when Jedd Fisch left Arizona. And Jedd Fisch took the offensive philosophy. He took a lot of the players to Washington. Arizona football is a program without an identity, kind of like TCU, but to a different level. Arizona needs to figure out what it is, what type of offense it is, what kind of physicality they're going to play with, and really harmonize everything so it fits together and it's more cohesive so they can start winning football games again. Arizona is not a traditional football power. It's going to be difficult. Jedd Fisch was a special coach with a very unique offense tailored for players like Noah Fafita. Can Brennan get the Wildcats back to that spot? We will find out. Or will he be on the hot seat in 2025? To be determined. 16 coaches and 16 teams. Some are on the rise, while others have a lot to prove in the Big 12 Conference. Who's overrated? Who's underrated? Let me know your rankings and thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for the latest college football news and realignment updates. Class is dismissed.